Hi everyone, good evening. Just wait for some people to join. Sorry, I'm just trying to set things up. Okay, well, it's Wednesday. How is everyone? Thank you for all joining us, as I'm sure people will join in a minute. I'm just trying to find me on here. Hello Martin, nice to see you here. Here we go. I've been having a few techie issues this evening, mainly that my phone was dead, so that was fun, wasn't it? Oh, we've got 3 people watching, that's exciting. Okay, so tonight we are going to use these lovely cows. So I live in a little village called Lower Howstow, and I'm really lucky that we have fields all around us. I say lucky, some of you would have heard the noise earlier. With cows, sometimes it's sheep, sometimes it's cows. At the moment they're cows and they are so noisy. So, hi Jackie, hi Janine. They are so noisy, so I thought today we'll use Over the Moon, which is a brand new stamp set in the new catalogue that came out yesterday. Yippee! And it's all about cows. So for the last few years we've had piggies, and the piggies are really popular. Last night on my craft group, one of the ladies was making cards with the piggies, and then someone joined in with the cows, and we thought we only need some sheep now and maybe some goats, so let's put that in the sandbox. Okay, so let's get cracking. We've got a few people watching. Thank you for joining me. So tonight we're going to use this lovely Over the Moon stamp set. It's got little cows in it, lovely sentiments. Cows it going, over the moon for you, and you're utterly fantastic. So the card I've made to kick us off is this little one. Hello, this little one, and I've used one of the new in colours. This one is Terracotta Tile, which actually I think is my favourite. I thought it was Seaside Spray, but I do actually think it's now Terracotta Tile. So we're just going to do, this one's going to be quite quick because I've prepared most of this beforehand. Hello Jane! Now, this one, we're just using a basic crumb cake base, and I folded it this way, which is a bit of a change for me. So it's half a piece of A4 cardstock, which would be like that. So instead of doing my cards that way, we've gone this way instead. Hi Linz! Now, so the card base, we're just going to fold him in half, like so. Now what I've actually used, I've used one of the embossing folders that's carried over. It's the corrugated one. Hi Denise! It's the corrugated embossing folder, and it's one of the 3D ones, so it gives a really deep emboss, which is lovely. The trick with this is before you put your cardstock through, hi Claudette, is to just spritz some water on it. It makes the card more pliable, and you get a much deeper emboss. So can you see that? It's lovely, isn't it? Crumb cake, yes indeed Jane, you were on my mind. So we're going to be really quick, and we're going to attach that to there. I always use my trusty Tombow. It doesn't really matter which way you put this on. I'm going to go this way. I always use my Tombow for this. So you don't need too much. And we're just going to attach that on there like so. We've done a few Blue Peter moments tonight. We've got here's one I made earlier. And then we're going to use this lovely die here, which comes from the Stitch Labels. Hi Bev! So I've cut this already. The reason for that is because it can be a nightmare to cut. Let me just get some Whisper White. 2 seconds, everybody. Okay. So that, oh, look at that, it's gone a bit crooked. Do you know what, we'll go for the crooked look tonight. So we've used that, cut that in Whisper White, and it looks just like that. It's got lots of pieces that pop out, so we'll just make sure we've got all of those. I would use a brush, but the mat is somewhere in this craft barn. Okay. So then we're just going to attach him to there, and I am going to use a dimensional for this. which I'll wear. Let's have a little look. It's been one of those weeks this week where I've been really disorganised, and people that came to my card class last night can probably vouch for that. I'm very lucky to have a brilliant group of ladies that the bits that I forgot, one of my ladies went to my house to collect them, so I couldn't have better ladies that come to my classes. So we're just going to attach him to there, just like so. And then we'll do a bit of stamping. So I've chosen to use the cow with the flower. I think she's really pretty. I say she, it could be a man. It doesn't have udders, so that probably means it's a man. And we're just going to... I do need a pokey tool. It's here somewhere. Well done, Mum, you've made it on time. My mum was one of the reasons I was late, because she rang me just as I was about to start. So thanks for that, Mama. Okay, so we've inked up our lovely cow. And we're going to stamp her there, so that's her done. And then we're going to use some blends to colour her in. Let's put my dye in there so we can use it. Now it looks like I've got a lot of blends here. Now I've used grey. Grey is my colour of choice. And I'm going to be really, really rough with this and just colour her in. We were having a discussion last night about what colour cow should be. At the moment, the cows in the field behind are brown. Noisy brown cows. Yes. They particularly like about 4 AM in the morning. So, looking forward to that tonight. Okay, so I'm just being really, really rough. I need to order a new smoky slate light blend, because the other end of this one has gone a bit funky. It's been used so much, so it's done well. Oh look, they're all talking amongst each other. That's sweet, isn't it? That's good. Okay, so just being really, really quick. And then we'll use a bit of dark smoky slate to fit all that one's gone a bit funny as well. Can you all see okay? So we'll just colour in some other bits. And what else have I done? We've done this bit here and this bit there, and we're just going to colour that in there. So I'm being quite rough, but the trick I find with the blends is this lovely colour lifter. So I'm just going over all of it, and it just softens it all and blends it all in nicely. Someone out there will probably say, oh, you're not using that properly, but it works for me. Now, her little welly boots, we're going to do those in Cajun Craze. The reason I've done Cajun Craze and not terracotta tile is because my blends are currently on order in the new in colours. So these are the new in colours that came out yesterday, and they are really soft. Hi, Baz. Can the tips be turned around in the blends? I have no idea, Claudette. Probably. Right. Oh, you are good, Baz. Is it Michaela demonstrating, or is it her son again? That was brilliant last week. He did so well. Little Bertie. Okay, so we've just coloured in our welly boots. And then we've got a bit of hair there. And then for her nose, just going to go around with this ivory one. I know I've done it in grey for this one, but I'm not quite pleased with it. So we're just going to do a little bit of altering. And again, this colour blender, colour lifter, comes in really super handy. You'll see me use this a bit more later on. And then we'll have a bit of green leaf. And then we will have a bit of Mango Melody, and then back to the grey. So I wanted to do this a bit like a daisy, because to me it is a daisy. And we'll colour that in again with the colour lifter. This colour lifter is probably my most used one. It just softens. Oh, and we've forgotten her tail. Okay. So there is my lovely cow. Let's move all those out of the way. There's my lovely cow. Here she is. So then what we're going to do is we're going to cut her out. And here's my Blue Peter piece. Here's one I cut out earlier. It is embossed cardstock, Baz. We're just reading a comment there. So we've now got our fussy cut cow. And we're going to put her on there. The colour lifter is the only one you have, Bev. Oh, I'm sure you can, I'm sure you'll have some more soon. Okay, so we're just going to add our lovely cow. Cast me onto the telly. Oh, I'm famous. Okay, so we've got our lovely cow stuck there. And then I've used this Wishes here. So Wishes has been cut using the, I always want to say well said, but I think they're well written framelets. Where are they? Can anyone correct me? Is it well written or is it well said? I can't quite remember. Yes, I'm sure it is worth getting more, Bev. I use my blends all the time. They're really handy and they've lasted really well. So the grey has only run out because I use it so much and we've used it a lot at classes recently. So Wishes, we're just going to put her on there. And with this, I find the best thing is to just dab your Tombow really lightly. So all I've done is I've added some glue to there. You've sold your Copics. Oh, well done. And then not forgetting the little dot, which is down here in my bits that I've done earlier. So there we have Wishes. Now these little dots, when you do your die cutting, they're the one piece you want to keep hold of. Okay, so we now have that, and then we've got Birthday that we're going to stamp. So Birthday comes as part of the Well Said stamp set. This is only half of it. So it is well said. So the dies are well written. See? My mind is all over the place this week. It's good fun. And then we're going to stamp Birthday just on here. Memento. And we'll stamp that along the bottom here. So I find with these words. Hi Sharon, thanks for joining me. We're going to use this classic label punch and they actually line up perfectly. So you're going to lay that in there and it's just the right height. Can you see that? It's just the right width for these words. So we're going to punch that out just like so. And then to make the plain edged banner with our snips, we're just going to cut those banner ends off. So we've now got that, okay? So just like that. So we now have 2 cards, one in terracotta tile background, one in Rococo Rose, 2 cows, birthday wishes, done. Not bad. We're going to stand there, put those over there, and we're going to move on swiftly to our next card. And for me, when I think of cows, they are black and white. I have that punch. Oh, good. That's a handy one. It's this one. So for me, cows are black and white, and I know there's been lots of Pinterest posts all about the cows. And there's lots of different colours, but for me, cows are black and white. So here we go. We've got a black and white cow. And we're actually going to use the trusty Stamparatus again. So I was asked earlier by one of my lovely team, is the Stamparatus worth it? I think it is. Is that my card for my birthday? No, Baz, you are not a cow. You're my beautiful, beautiful, lovely friend. So we are going to use the Stamparatus. I was asked earlier if the Stamparatus is worth it. It is an expensive purchase. I think it's £43. I could be wrong, so we might want to check that. I didn't think I would use it as much as I actually do when I bought it, but it's really, really handy. And I'm going to show you a little tip for using these large background stamps. So these 2 circles that you see here are actually using this. Okay, the buffalo check, which is really, really handy. And I'm so glad it's carried over. So let's get a cracking. Now, to start, we are going to use just a plain piece of Whisper White, like that. Here's one I cut earlier. And we're going to add that to our card. Stamparatus is worth it. Oh, good. There was lots of people jumping on and saying, yes, yes, yes. So I was quite pleased about that. Okay. So we're going to add that to there, so that's that piece done, nice and quick and easy. And then you'll see on here I've used my favourite technique at the moment, which is a bit of splashing. So let's clear the decks because we don't want everything splashed in black ink. So we're going to use a Stampin' White marker, and we're going to use the felt tip end and the lid. And all you're going to do is move the felt tip lid quickly off of the inside of the cap. And then you get this lovely splashed effect. And if you let go further out, it gets quite light, but if you go closer to the card, you get more splashes. So that's that. With a Stampin' White marker, we need to leave that to dry, so we'll just pop that over there, and we are going to stamp our lovely, oh look, you can see what I've been stamping. We're going to stamp our lovely buffalo check background. Now, I've done this earlier, so we're going to line up we're going to use these pieces. Let me just get them. You can do that with blends. It looks lovely with blends because it really stays on the cardstock lovely, and the colours are really bright. So we're going to line this up with this corner here. Now, I only know this because I did it earlier. The idea is we're going to line our cardstock. So we know that our cardstock is on our platform straight. Now we will just line that over so you can see this background stamp covers the piece of cardstock. Okay. Now with this, the tip is to not use a magnet. If you use your magnet, then it will actually interfere with the stamping. So we're going to use our trusty Memento again. I find with this to smear it on like that first, so you get a really good coverage. Can you see that? And then just tap on to make sure that it's definitely all covered. Now because this is a cling mounted stamp, we've not got our mat in our Stamparatus. Okay, so we've got that like so. All we're going to do is transfer that over to there and push down. You want to be quite firm with your Stamparatus because this is a large background stamp. You want to make sure you've definitely got it all covered. Okay, and then we're going to lift it off. And because it's a background stamp, it will stay attached to your stamp. So I tend to remove this with tweezers really, really carefully. Okay, so we now have something that looks like that. Okay, hi Michelle. Oh, now I'm nervous that Michelle is watching. So we now have done that bit. We don't need our Stamparatus anymore. So you can use that straight as your background, which looks lovely, but we're not going to do that. Oh, let me put my lid on my ink pad or everything's going to end up in the ink pad. We're going to use this 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and we're going to cut out, let me put my card back in the screen, we're going to cut out two circles. 1, 2. So we have our 2 buffalo checked circles, we don't need that anymore. And we are going to cut out 2 other circles as well, 2 plain white ones. So we've got 1, 2 of those, and then You'll notice on these circles what I've done as well is the line around the edge is black. I find it just helps to lift it off the cardstock. So if you put that on like there, I think it gets a bit lost. But if you do a black line around the edge, it just picks it up a bit more. And we're going to do that with our Stampin' Right marker. Again, with the felt tip end, you're going to carefully just run it round the edge. Can you see that? So it's taking, just giving it a little bit of definition. You don't have to do this. This is probably unnecessary detail, but I prefer it. And it's another reason to use my Stampin' Right marker. I actually use these a lot more than I expected to. They're very handy. And as always, they coordinate with all our other colours. So we've got that. Oh, and we're going to do that to one of these as well. Just one. I know this is probably a little bit unnecessary, but okay, so we've now got 4 circles, 2 with buffalo check, 1 plain and 1 plain, and now we're going to use a stamp from the Delightful Day stamp set, which is new. So this one, it's lots of different sentiments, but the one that I like is this one. And it makes me think of cows, so it's a bit handy. We'll put that there like that. Okay, so we've just added that to a block, just like so. We need our black ink pad again, and we're going to do this to the other one, the plain one that we've gone around the edge on. Okay, and we're just going to stamp. We're going to do first generation and second generation, just all over. It also makes me think of Dalmatians, of the 101 variety, just like so. So now we've got our Dalmatian / cow circle, we can start to build things. So we've got that on there and that on there, and we can stick those down with our Tombow. Just like so. The other thing I have added to my card at this stage is this lovely die. This is also part of the Well Said, Well Written bundle, and it's this beautiful leaf, vine, I don't know, we'll call it a leaf vine. So I'm just going to take out the inside of these petals or leaves. Like so, I'm concentrating. Down. So we'll take that out of there, and we're going to add that just like so. And with this, I'm not being too careful because a lot of this is going to be hidden in our card. So we'll stick that on just like so. So that's the underneath of our card, and let's create our cow. Let's make him come to life. Well, this one I think is a girl because this one has udders. So here we go. This is the card I used, the piece of card I used the other week for the elephant card. Here we go. Now this one, sadly, I have not prepared earlier, so you're going to have to sit and watch me colour in my lovely cow and then cut her out. So there is a black Stampin' Blend. It's on its way with the in colours, which are now all available to order as of yesterday. Okay, so we've got our black spots on our lovely cow. Right, now what colours did I use? I've forgotten. Okay, so with this one, we are going to just go round the edge of our cow with really lightly with the grey, and not necessarily all the way round, because we just want to take the edge off the white. And I'm using the black for this. Paul is very impressed. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Paul. Right, here we go. I have no idea what my husband's doing. I think the children are in bed. I hope the children are in bed. It's been a very long day. We've had street dance tonight and flying aeroplanes. And did anyone manage to see the planes fly over? We were really lucky. We saw them from our house, from the front of the house. They were quite far. We could see them in the distance, but we could hear them. It was quite impressive. A friend of mine and Mum managed to see them fly over the house, which was amazing. We've had some interesting questions from Floss tonight, though. Okay, so going back to our cows, I'm using the colour lifter just to blend the grey into the white, like so. It just takes the edge off of the white and blends nicely. So we're going to have brown hoofs. Just like so. And he's going to have a brown flick. It's like Elvis, this cow. I wonder how long it'll be until we see an Elvis cow. Okay, and then for his face, we're going to use the ivory again. Like so. And again, the trusty colour lifter. It makes a lovely noise as well. Okay, and then lastly, his udders. Her udders. And not forgetting the tail. Just do that really lightly. Okay. Next, I'm really sorry guys, I didn't make this one earlier. You missed them as you were coming back from Blue Water. Oh, that's a shame, Bev. You probably would have seen them where you were as well. Darren's folks actually went down to the local country park to see them, but it was chaos. They said they couldn't actually get in the car park. They had to park miles away and walk down, but they did see them. They said the noise was phenomenal. Okay, so here we go with our cow. I find with my fussy cutting, I like to leave a white border. Whenever we have dies that cut out our characters and our shapes, they tend to leave a white border, so I think that's why I do it, but I think it makes it feel like it pops more. I'm doing this really roughly. Okay. Round his hooves, her hooves. Away we go. This live's going on quite long this evening, isn't it? It's the longest one I've done, I think. We'll be done by 9 though, because it's Love Island night. I'm not sure if any of you will be watching it, but I like it. It helps me zone out. Okay, so we've now done our cow. We've cut her out. Watch those udders. Okay, here we go. So the last piece we need to do is we need to stamp our sentiment. So I have put, "You are utterly fantastic." And I can think of lots of people I could send this to. again, just ink up our sentiment, move her off there, and we're just going to put that along the bottom like so. Not my cup of tea, love, and it's not many people's cup of tea, as I discovered last night. Okay, now we're going to add her to there and that to there. So what I've done with this plain white circle is I have used a few dimensionals to raise it. Because we've got quite a lot going on underneath it, if you raise it, it just stands out a little bit more. So we'll just attach that to there. And you can see I've got a bit of a splodge there. Oh, it's gone. I never panic about splodges and things. I always think it makes it look handmade. So there we have You're Utterly Fantastic and Birthday Wishes. So those are my cards for this evening. 2 cards, 2 different styles. One quite messy, one quite clean. All with cows over the moon. So if you like that stamp set, it's in the catalogue at the moment. And it is on page, I would love to show you. I can't remember how much it is. It's terrible, isn't it? I should be more prepared. It's on page 32. Oh, I did remember. Here we go, page 32 of the new annual catalogue. And he is £19 for that stamp set. Okay, so if you did want to order that or add it to your wish list, it's right there. And there's some lovely, lovely samples using the different images. This one's lovely up here. Really, really sweet. So that's it from me this evening, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. It's always nice to have a chat and do some crafting together. I am off indoors now to prep and get myself sorted for watching my Love Island, which is my next 3-month 9 o'clock event. And that's it. So have a lovely evening, have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you next week at the same time. Bye!